This video is how to create a seller net sheet or buyer net sheet for a client. So it's a real good way to show an estimate, and we want to make sure we highlight the word estimate of how much a buyer or seller is either going to receive or pay for on a listing. Okay, so what we're going to do, here are the links to the buyer net sheet and the seller net sheet. I'm going to do a seller net sheet because we had a request. What's that?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, we had a request for the property on 2405 Northridge. So you want to make sure that you have the property up so that you can look at taxes as well. So when we click on the link, we're going to go to the seller net sheet calculator, and let's see the anticipated closing date. Let's just do 30 days out. Okay, so let's do October 25th. This is going to calculate HOA fees. We'll do the 26th since it's a Monday, taxes, things like that. And they wanted to know a couple things. No, this is it. The seller sheet at $399.9 and at $380. Okay, so let's just do $399.9. $399,900 because that's what we're going to drop the price to. Since we're the listing agent, we have 6%. Commissions are split between buyer and agent, buyer's agent, seller's agent. Transaction fee. Okay, this is all going to be calculated. We don't really have a transaction fee, but we do have an option fee. Let's just say it's $100. Annual taxes the previous year. So you're going to want to go into the taxes, and an easy way to do it is click here, or you could click down here. Okay, so either way, but I'm going to click here, take us right in.
There, right?
Okay, and so now for 2019, we're going to come down and we're going to look at the total taxes, which is right here, $9939.84, and you're going to take that number, 9939.84, and enter it into. Oops, we're going to enter into taxes actually. I don't know the payoff. So whatever it is that comes up, if we knew the payoff, let's say it's $200,000, we could put it in there. But if we don't, they'll get the net sheet and they will be able to subtract their payoff from the amount. So we're going to look at annual HOAs. This property is not in an HOA. The reason why I like to sit on this tax is because it's very quick and it doesn't leave the screen and go into real list like this one would. So if we're going to look in here, HOA, there is no HOA. Okay, so we're not going to have any HOA fees. Title premium. Okay, so the buyer or the seller can pay for title policies. So when we open this up, typically the owner policy is going to be paid by the seller, and the lender policy is going to be paid by buyer. It can switch. Okay, so and we're just doing a basic type. Now remember, we have the standard, which is a basic, and the extended, which includes boundary lines, encroachments, and protrusions and things like that. That amount is only 5% more than the basic policy. So 5% of 2412, okay, is going to be 10% is 241. 5% is 120. So if you wanted to put that in there, you could always put it into a transaction fee of $120. Okay, but that's all the amount that the extended policy is going to charge. It's not much. By the way, a good trick is if you are debating between somebody getting a survey and the extended title policy, a lot of agents don't know the difference of cost between those two. They say, oh, extended title policy, that could be a lot. You want to leverage that 5%. If they want you to go get a survey, make sure the other client, you're working with your client, accept the extended policy amount, which is nominal, $100, and let them pay for the survey, which could be $400 on up to a couple $1,000, depending on the type of land. So it's a very good way to give and take, but you're only getting a 5% charge to your client when they're getting several $100s, if not more. So annual HOA dues is $0. Title premium. Let's look at title company fees. Okay, so here it is: owner's title policy, escrow settlement fee, courier delivery. So they have all these little things that are in here, and it's going to add up to $31.78 to the seller, and then any contractual fees. Now this is basically going to be HOA dues. Okay, we don't have any no home warranty, so Typically, we have a $500 home warranty that the seller is going to pay for, so we're going to put that in there. And then if there are any contributions from the seller, what we're going to tax proration, of course, is we're going to assume that they're current. Buyer's costs. So these are contributions. Let's say the buyer requested and the seller agreed to contribute $2,500 towards buyer's closing costs. That's what you would put in here. If the resale certificate was something that was negotiated that the seller was going to buy, which in the HOA addendum, it's going to designate a cap amount for the resale certificate. If the seller is going to have to contribute some, or if buyer is going to pay for some, then seller will pay for the rest. Anyhow, and any repairs or miscellaneouses are here. So the contractual fees, basically it's the taxes that are prorated for the year because the seller has lived in the property from January 1st to the closing date, and then the buyer will assume the tax responsibility from the closing date on to the end of the year. And that's all collected up front for the next year. It's held in escrow, and the taxes are paid at the time. Let's say this is 2021. They're going to be held until 2022 comes around, and then at that time the escrow is going to pay the 2021 taxes because they're, of course, ad valorem taxes are paid in arrears. So this is what we have right here. Net proceeds $363,985 on a $399,900 sale. I always put in my information in the client's information. So it makes it a nice report. There are many of these types of reports. I find this one to be one of the better ones. And you don't have to put your address in, but just go ahead and put your email. And we can go ahead and do this. Say, remember me. Okay, then we can save and go back. And then we're going to hit edit. And this is going to be David and Mariana Hamill. I think I have their name correct, Hamill. Let's look in the tax here real quick. I think it's one L or two L's. I'm not sure. Well, come on. Hamill. Yeah, it's always a good name to spell your client's name correctly. And then email. Let's do Hamill. We'll just do this email. Control C. Okay, and we're going to Control V, and then just put the address of the property, 2045 Northwoods Drive. I can copy that, and I can paste it in here, and then take this part out. I'm making this difficult on myself here. Okay. Oops. It'll be easier to type it on this one. Okay. Okay, Texas. And that zip was what? Let's just make sure that that is out. 75403. And then we're going to save and go back. And now we can recalculate. And then if we want to have it as a PDF, we can do that. And it is going to download a PDF for us, or it should. Or you can print it, or you can email it. So if I wanted to email it, I could do that as well. So that's how you create a seller's net sheet.